10% of the cuts that are coming our way. That's the real project fear, and it scares the bloody bejesus out of me, I'll tell you. And they tell us that we're the separatists, that we're splitting the union, we're divorcing, breaking up Britain, ripping things up, abandoning Britain and its common values. Do you know the irony in all this? It's not Scotland that's abandoning the British values that once bound us together on both sides of the border. It's Westminster, the London city-state, the rich elites. It's they who have abandoned those British values, not us. It was the Thatcher government that started it. They threw away those values of the post-war consensus that my parents, my grandparents believed in. And they did believe then, after the war, that we were all in it together. Those values that created the welfare state, the health service, that believed that the state had a moral as well as a social responsibility to care for the sick, the poor, the disabled, the dispossessed. A society that would do its best to make people's lives better. Those days are gone. We are now witnessing an attack on the working class, a demonisation of the working poor that is worse than anything I've seen in my life. Peddling myths and lies, getting working people to turn on each other, and of course that's what they want. They want us fighting amongst ourselves, because then we take our eyes off all of those who hold the power and all the money in Westminster. Where working people are constantly told that wanting a decent job, a living wage, good housing is something that they don't deserve, that they're being greedy, they're asking too much. You want to talk about greed? Just take a look at the greed, the selfishness, the corruption of the City of London, the vested interests of the institutions, from the banks to the heads of the BBC, where massive wealth is acceptable. People who live in a way that is unimaginable to the rest of us. But of course that's old news, isn't it? That's old news. The media have moved on. No charges brought. Nobody goes to prison. Who cares? The media have moved on to the news story that tells the rest of us that we're lazy, we're feckless scroungers and benefit cheats. Can I say, I was brought up in a mine in Steeltown in Lanarkshire, right? My father, my mother, my extended family would have died rather than no go to their work and feed their families. When they hoped and dreamt of a better life for their children, it wasn't about money. It wasn't about just being rich. I don't remember them ever talking about money, making pots of money. It was about a better life. It was about becoming a teacher or a doctor or a nurse, or going to college or getting a trade so we could live healthy, decent lives. And what have we just been told by people here in Scotland that should know better? That Scotland is a something-for-nothing society. How dare you? How dare you? We're always accused in the Yes campaign of being too emotional. That this is just an emotional argument. We let our hearts rule our heads. I never really knew how to answer that. And then I heard the fabulous playwright David Gregg. He said that he actually felt the decision to vote yes was the opposite of that. That it is our heads, it's our intelligence that has brought us here. For me, it's a no vote that is emotional, driven by a heart full of fear. And let me just say, the best decisions in my life, in anybody's life, come from the head and the heart. That's what's brought me and thousands of people across Scotland to the campaign for yes. Our heads and our hearts. So today, let's put our collective minds together, right? Let's use our passion, our creativity to imagine this better place, a better country. Let's lift our hearts and dream. And you know what? We're allowed to dream. Let's enjoy this special, special day, a special time in a special place. Let's go forward, everyone, with our hearts and our heads. Let's go forward with our heads held high and our hearts full of hope for the future, knowing that we can deliver a yes vote for this country and its people. With your head and your heart, vote yes.
Somewhere south of Aberdeen, west of Easter Road, we gather in the glow of late September. A year before the reckoning, we'll travel here in force to give the future something to remember. Remembering the pioneers who kept alive the light, remembering the refugees who joined them in the fight, and for each and every underdog who's thinking they just might, we'll gaze upon the chimes of freedom flashing. 1707, and we never got no choice. They sold our freedom for that dirty money. And 3 centuries way down the road, they're trying it again. It's kinda sad, but then it's kinda funny. George Osborne claiming freedom, it would make our people skint. Duncan Smith and Darling saying they agree with him. And Anna Sauer brandishing his dossiers of mince as we gaze upon the chimes of freedom flashing. We value our diversity, our different points of view. We're traveling together on this journey. Now that might seem revolutionary, but it's simple, can't you see? We all want the right to govern our own country. The SNP, the Greens, the Reds, all colours, they shine through. Yes, Scotland and the RIC, Labour for Indy too. The volunteers, the canvassers, the folks like me and you, as we gaze upon the chimes of freedom flashing. Somewhere south of Aberdeen and west of Easter Road, we'll gather in the glow of late September. A year before the reckoning, we'll journey here in force to give the future something to remember. Remembering the aching ones who the UK it has cursed. Ravenscraig, the poll tax, Thatcher, Trident, and now us. And for each and every person in the whole wide universe, we gaze upon the chimes of freedom flashing. We gaze upon the chimes of freedom flashing.
That was Citizen Smart with his song for the rally. And the next person we're going to listen to is Alan Grogan from Labour for Indy.
Thank you very much. Oh, let's keep going again. It's an incredible honour to once again be speaking with you all. A year ago we stood together, the largest demonstration of hope in our time. And today I'm proud to say we've gone much, much bigger and much, much better than that. The reason Labour for Independence plays such a positive role in the Yes campaign came from the acceptance of each and every one of you who realised just how important the Labour movement is in winning this referendum. In the last year we've been labelled a lot of things: undercover unionist spies, a front for the nationalists, and every other claim conspiracy theorists and ex-News of the World journalists would like to make. But the truth is always so much simpler. The truth is we stand here today united with nationalists, Greens, socialists, people of a party, people with no party, gay, straight, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Hindi and beyond, joined by our Catalonian brothers, our Venetian brothers and many, many more, standing tall and fighting to change our country for the better. Because change, in the end, that's what we're really fighting for. In countries around the world, from Uganda, Rwanda, India and Ireland, blood has been shed over generations, fighting for what we can achieve with one small cross on one small box. It really is that simple to make this change. Today we are seeing a country run by a government who are voted third and fourth in Scotland. Run by the elites, backed up by London finance and votes. This government has instilled a regime of decimation on the poor and working class. A government with no mandate in this land determining our welfare policy, our economic policy and our foreign policy. Well, we're here today to say no more. Now, last year, I think there was about 10,000 people here. Well, we stand tall with an even louder voice today. So I'd like if you'd grant me a little bit of crowd interaction. And we're going to make it as simple as the referendum. All you have to say is yes or no. So let's make sure the BBC in London hear us here. Let's start with the no's. If you want Scotland to remain part of the fourth most unequal society, vote no. If you want to keep the bedroom tax, vote no. If you want people on disability having to prove to a board just how ill they really are, vote no. If you want our elderly to have to decide between heating their homes and eating their dinner, vote no. If you want to keep 1 in 5 Scottish children living in poverty, vote no. That was good. Now, let's go with the reasons why we're actually here. Let's make it so loud it sends a tingle down George Osborne's spine. If we want to rid ourselves of nuclear weapons, vote yes! If we want a government we voted for and one we can be proud of, vote yes! If we want universal public services from cradle to grave, vote yes! If we want to look after our poor, our old and our sick, vote yes! If we want our country to lead the world in renewable energy, vote yes! We need to send this message to every town, city, village and street in Scotland. Are you with us? Yes! We have a chance to create something extraordinary, but it will take change. And change is only useful if it's change for the better. I'm not voting yes to give up on our trade unions, to keep the Queen, keep the pound, to watch EastEnders and a vote on X Factor. I want to see Scotland which uses its full resources of its nation, our natural resources, our industry and our people to its fullest. I stand here today as a father of 2 with another one on the way. I want to see a Scotland that will give them the best chance in life. I want to see a Scotland that will stand proud in the international community, not as an imperialist, authoritarian voice, but as a shining example to the world. An economically vibrant, socially just society promoting equality, fairness throughout the land. A nation we can be proud to leave our children and grandchildren. One of my party's founders, the great Keir Harvie, once said to the House of Commons, "The last has not been heard of the socialist movement either in the country or in the floor of this House." I'm confident that if he was here today, he would be marching with us. Yes. Because while on that floor we may never see the socialist movement again, it can be heard in every city, town and village in this great land. Yeah. Labour for Independence is proud to be here with you today, proud to be standing for what is right, and proud to represent the real Labour movement in Scotland. Yeah. The vote on the referendum next year will be the most important of our lives. While the Tory backbenchers say their EU referendum will be the first time in 40 years for our voices to be heard, our referendum will be the first time in 300 years that our voices will be heard. Scotland can be the most frustrating place in the world. We have so much to offer, so much to be proud of, so much still left to achieve, if we can only just believe in ourselves. Yes. Yes. I believe in Scotland. I believe that the people of Scotland will make the right choice. The choice of hope, the choice of change, and the choice of a better nation. Together we can be that change, and together we will win. Thank you very much.